consisting of 5 counties, has already had massive economic impact. I had a chat with Abdulswamad Nassir, the chair of Parliament's Public Investment Committee, on how best we can respond to the latest measures. Take a look. Well, the president issued new measures to counter the spread of COVID-19 third wave, to be specific. And the question is the economic impact, that vis-a-vis the health repercussions of COVID-19 that we've seen. So as a country, how do we balance the two? Right now, I'm joined by Abdulswamad Shariff, who is VP Member of Parliament and also Chair of Public Investment Committee. Welcome, sir. So the whole balance is between health and economics. The new measures that you've seen, unlike the previous measures that came in early 2020, had sort of economic, ramifications and cover. Do you think this new measure should come also with the economic package side of it?
It should actually come with a better economic package, because people have already felt this heat. I mean, this heat has hit Kenyans terribly. Just when people felt they were getting back on their feet, and then again, it's saddening. It's saddening. I'm just trying to imagine trying to balance an issue of people's lives and people's economies, and whether we like it or not right now, the first things that we have to do is look at our budget priorities again, and probably say that we intended to build this amount of roads, we intended to do this amount of things, and maybe we just might need to relook at all this and say that first priority is people need to have a bit of food on their table. So yes, it should have come with a bit of economic reprieve for the people.
So the initial measures that were taken early 2020, we saw majorly they were impacting people, especially in the formal employment sector, like the reduction of the taxes, and also corporates. And majority of this country understand, they run MSMEs, small businesses, very informal. What do you think are the options that the government has in regards to reaching to them?
Like you said, the majority of the people are not in the formal sector. Majority of them are in the informal sector. Yes, this helped people keep their jobs, especially the pay-as-you-earn, which had been lifted for a certain amount. But then that helped just up to a certain level. It did not increase necessarily employment, but it just helped to retain a company that was resilient enough to be able to retain those employees. But some of the things that I would have wished to have seen passing over to the consumers was the issue of reducing VAT. I know that the Chamber of Commerce has come up with suggested measures, one of them that we reduce VAT, but then equally, I was hoping as well that would come up with measures to ensure that amount of lifting does not just help manufacturers alone, but it goes down to the common man. So that means if you're going to reduce VAT, let it be felt up to the person who's going to the shop to buy a kilo of sugar or whatever it is.
And you touched the issue of, fuel, which is a very sensitive topic, understanding, the history that we have and the comparisons that we make with other countries. But the huge bit of fuel levy, the huge bit of the pricing has been attributed to taxes and levies, and Parliament is very central to making this decision. So do we have a wrong past in Parliament's approach towards this thing, and can it be rectified?
There's actually a specific fund in that as well that was kept aside, and unfortunately, they were only able to make it operational just the other day, where that fund is to cushion Kenyans in the event world market prices go high. It's for that reason. It would have been easier, people say that, why didn't you just do it yourself? It's easier if you raise it as a statement that, the committee has to now relook at the whole thing, where when they're doing that, then me as a member and other members can be able to give our suggestions and our opinions and our views. And thereafter, because some of these things, including the formula that is used, was passed through delegated legislation. So it's easier to be able to change that, and we can be able to see some form of relief in terms of the cost of fuel.
For the year 2021, economically just looking at it, what do you foresee?
I was a bit shocked the other day when I saw we are actually a nation of borrowers, and once you reach into those levels, it's a bit crazy. I know that the banks are saying that their profits declined, but guess what? They still made profits. Yes, there was a decline. Other businesses literally shut down. On this, I was looking at people who were able to borrow money from mobile apps. It's in the region of about 1.5 billion a day. So we're a nation of borrowers, and the reason is not for any other because there's no cash flow moving around, and this is what is causing all this. Probably a suggestion, of course, this is now something that an executive order can be able to pull through. Is probably try and say that, the essentials, power, the essentials, fuel, the essentials, things like water. Why don't we look at reducing VAT on this? Yes, I know that VAT was reduced on every item from 16 to 14, but unfortunately, not many people on the grassroots level felt it. It was felt by the business owners, without a doubt, but not on a grassroots level. What if we consider and start saying that, let us reduce it a bit more on those that are essential, but then every single person is going to feel.
Closing up, of course, COVID situation and, the political class of which we can place you in it, you're a politician, taking responsibility, especially during these transitions that you have seen. Is there a level of accountability within the politicians themselves to say, why are we holding rallies and we just had this situation and doctors even were warning? Was there a level of accountability within the circles themselves?
We need to call a spade and not a big spoon. I cannot say that politicians are only to be blamed, but politicians as well are some of those to be blamed. There's no doubt about it. Immediately, we felt that things went down. It is not just the political sector alone. It is the political sector together with other sectors, that were there. I know for a fact a number of us, including myself, have zeroed out in terms of any levels of political rallies. But whether blame is to be shared, we need to appropriate blame, yes, to the political class, but equally, every single one of us has a responsibility. Every single one of us has a responsibility. It's always like this. Like if something bad happens, say that but they copied you. But what about the good things that happen? Why don't those get said that they were copied as well from the politicians?
Awesome, sir. Thank you very much. Shared responsibility. Okay.